Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nuzahar bin Muhammad Noor, from Northern Group. Today I will be like to present our research about the advantages and disadvantages of doing labs or workshop via online among IKM students. Before we go detail, let me introduce my group members. Okay, top from left, it's me, Nozahar bin Muhammad Noor, and then Abdul Kahar bin Ismail, Shahrin bin Shahid, Zaidi bin Sulur, Anissa binti Hujal, and Ahmad Zuri bin Yusof Elias Yusof. Okay, for the next slide is introduction. Educational life worldwide has been shaken by the closure of school due the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. The ripple effect have been felt in the way both teachers and students have adapted to the constraints imposed by the new online form of education. The present study focus exclusively on the beneficiaries of the educational process and aims to find out their perception of face-to-face and online and their desire to return or not to the traditional form of education. Online learning, or known as e-learning, is no longer an option but a necessity since the COVID-19 pandemic. These studies attempt to look at the issues and challenges faced by MARA, ITMA, lecturers, technicians, and IKM students in the implementation of online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic period. Several past studies has been analyzed in more depth for this purpose. The result of the analysis show that the main challenge faced by lecturers and students are internet access and lecturers' skill in using ICT to interact with, with each other through online teaching platform. Okay, 1.1 is background information. Okay, the most important challenge for the global education system in the last century was posed at the end of 2019 by the outbreak of the new coronavirus pandemic. No less than 1.6 billion people involved in the education system in over 190 countries and covering all continents of the world have suffered from the closure of school. The entire shutdown process happening by May 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted to face-to-face teaching delivery system in various institutions, especially in Tibet, in the country. Online learning is becoming a key method of implementing the learning and teaching process during the spreading epidemic. Okay, for the next is 1.2 propose. Okay, have three objective. The first one is and exploring the advantages and disadvantages of online learning from the perspective of students. Okay, number two is determine type of problem faced among students during the lesson through online class. And third, to find out how they're feeling along the way to study online class. Okay, for the scope is 1.3, a sample of 108 respondents, which is students from Institut Kemahiran Mara Lumut and Institut Kemahiran Mara Kuala Lumpur, were randomly select the survey. The survey has been made using Likert scheme, which is 1 for strongly disagree to 5 for strongly agree. Scope of the question divide into three categories, which is A, technical problem of online learning in IKM, B, online learning problem in IKM, and C, assignment and assessment of online learning at IKM. Okay, That's from me. Okay, for the next slide, I will to invite Mr. Abdul Kahar for continue our presentation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zaha. I continue the our presentation is a literature review. Okay, introduction. Okay, the literature review aims to analyze the difference of studies that have been conducted on the same topic in the past. Features of online learning plays an important role in allocating the key features that are important for this research. Technical learning theory look at what are the key technical learning theories used to address the current scenario and what are appropriate methods for achieving optimal requirement. Okay, second, a review of theoretical literature. The advantages of online learning are great deal can be maintained due to the fact it is not restricted and there is a synergy between the learner, instructor, and environment. The disadvantages include barriers of technologies that are associated to some things a computer virtually can do, such as laboratory experiment and lack of essential online features without which learning is limited. The third is previous journal that discussed about this topic. Okay, result indicated student measure was the only distinguishing factor. Student unfamiliarity with online labs or uncertainty about what to expect in the course contributed to the lower levels of self-regulation. The lack of significant difference between a subgroup was not surprising, as many students enter the virtual lab with the same level of online lab experience. And next, how are vocational institution innovating, evolving, and changing as a result of COVID-19? Okay, although there are few silver lining to the epidemic, it has served as a digital wake-up call for Tibet institution. The main finding is what they have been able to accomplish because of the shift to remote learning and adoption of technology. Student perception. Okay. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on mechanical engineering education for lecturer and student is explored in a new study. Online learning allow teachers and students to change the way learning and delivery of information is delivered. Face-to-face activities in the classroom has been stopped to prevent it from spreading. The impact of COVID-19 and education inside education at Grants 2020, closure of school and universities during the global pandemic lead to a loss of 1.5% of future GDP, equivalent to a total economic loss of USD 50.3 trillion for countries affected by the crisis. Students from privileged background were able to find alternative learning opportunities, but those from disadvantaged background were shut out. As we enter the recovery phase, it will be critical to reflect on the role of educational system in fostering resilient societies. Okay, the university student perspective on the advantages and disadvantages of online learning due to COVID-19. The introduction of online learning as one of Indonesia's institutions demonstrate that it has both advantage and downsides. Students benefit from time flexibility and well organized material recording while studying during the COVID-19 epidemic. Online learning has some shortcomings, such as fewer interactive lecture and changing schedule. Results show the flexibility of time and material feeling, as well as material feeling become more organized. Thank you from my side. I pass to Mr. Sharin to continue our presentation.
Okay, thank you, my friend, Mr. Kaha. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shahrin bin Muhammad Shahid. Now I can continue to chapter 3.0 Research Methodology. Introduction. Research area. This study was conducted at the Mara Skill Institute Kuala Lumpur and Lumut Perak, IKMKL and IKM Lumut. Okay, then 108 respondents from 5 programs were selected randomly. Okay, the program is program foundry, technology, mechanical manufacturing, mechanical drafting, diploma in welding, and mechanic industry certificate. One set of questionnaire which consists of 3 sections with total of 70 questions. The survey been carried out by using Google Form. Okay, data collection and analysis. This chapter presents the result of the study related to the question. Okay, what are the advantage and disadvantage of online learning in IKM? To answer the first question, an online questionnaire Google Form was distributed to 108 students and 108 of them answer. Okay, the questionnaire consists of 2 parts. Okay, the first part is personal information and the second part is the questionnaire. All student personal information is kept confidential. Okay, 4.1.1 discussion of the overall result of the interview. Mostly agree online classes lack effectively because lack of face-to-face meeting physically with their lecturer even though the class conducted in the theoretical module. Okay, practical classes cannot be conducted through online without physically touch to the machine or material of the task for complete the job. Okay, technical skill requiring an approach student and lecturer perform physically face-to-face in class session. 4.3.1 Demographic profile of the respondents. A total of 108 valid questionnaires were obtained, indicating an acceptable response rate. Then the distribution of respondents on various types of age, semester of study, and place of study is presented in Table 1. Okay, place of study. Table 1, number of questionnaire distributed by semester and place of study, IKM Kuala Lumpur and IKM Lumut. Okay, Table 1 also indicate that a total of 51.9% of respondents from IKM Kuala Lumpur and the rest from IKM Lumut, 48.1%. Okay. Okay, now starter pie showing percent of student by semester. Okay, about 59.3% of the respondent were from semester 3, 28.7% from semester 2, and 12% from semester 1. Okay, look at the starter pie. Okay, the gray color, okay, gray color from semester 3, okay, and then orange color semester 2 and semester 1 blue color. Okay, so that's all from me. I leave it to my friend Mr. Zaidi for the next slide. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everybody. Thanks Mr. Shahrin. Now I am Zaidi. We'll continue our group presentation. The result on our survey that involved 108 respondents begins with technical problem on online learning in IKM. Through the question of the ability to access the online learning platform, there were 31.8% respondents agree to that question. Through this era of technology, everything was easily in touch by this young generation. Follow it, 30.8 respondents agree that they easily to access the online learning platform, while 29% respondents were neutral. This is because they started experience on online learning for the first time since the MCO. Moving on to the second question on how easy of downloading material. There were 48% and 22.6% respondents who agree that they can find and downloading any type of material easily through any web if they use a correct keyword on what they try to find. The third question, the highest cost of internet service. About 34 from 108 respondents will strongly agree that they have to pay more bills to make sure they have good connection and coverage of internet service. On the fourth question on how difficulty to log in into the Microsoft Teams, 43% of respondents will agree that they have difficulty in using the Microsoft Teams for the first time during the MCO, while 20% respondents agree and 23% on neutral. On the section of online learning problem in IKM, the first question we asked about the flexibility of work and method of learning. 35.2% respondents will strongly agree that they can arrange their routine between work and study nicely. On question number 2, 22.1% and 36.5%, make it 64 respondents will agree that they get enough information through this online learning. While number 3 question, 37% will strongly agree that not every topic should be learned through this e-learn, and 31.5% is agree. On question of preferring face-to-face courses, 35.5% respondents strongly agree that they need the truly classes environment on their studies, followed by 26.2% agree to study in labs or workshop. Lastly, on our survey question, we asked whether they miss the campus environment so much. The results show more than half of respondents strongly agree that they want to go to the campus. On the other question, they also feel isolated with other members during the MCO to continue their studies. That's all from me, and I will pass this presentation to Madam Noranisa. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you to Mr. Zaidi. Now I'm Noranisa. We continue with the conclusion and recommendations. From our survey with IKM students, we found that online learning is less successful and effective to workshops and labs compared to face-to-face learning. Due to online learning, students cannot operate or run machine in the workshops, and they do not gain real skill how to handle the machines. In the second point, online learning can be interesting method if the class conduct in theoretical way. They have more interesting way to interest students in their theory class. They can watch video through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and doing more quizzes. Then they can explore more applications through the websites. And the last one, from our finding, online learning only improves students in digital skills, not in communication skills. This way makes them less confident in interacting with lecturers and classmates. If this situation persists, it will be difficult to them to build a career in the future, especially in the working environment. Now we go to the recommendation. We had 3 points to focus for recommendations. First, we go to institute. We find more advantage from this online learning, include distance learning, which accessibility to internet is still there, everyone can access. But the disadvantage for online situation is limitation for maintaining integrity in academic. Institute need a digital journey plan for staff and lecturers so that they can pick up the skill efficiently and come up with new ideas for practice and develop digital lesson module for students. The second recommendations are for students. The changing way of lesson from face-to-face to online is quite challenging for students, but it seems that they are quick to adapt the new situation. If we need to maintain this virtual learning situation, the government and administrators need to design and create a new curriculum to cultivate and improve digital skills among students from an early stage. And the last one is social environments. Lockdown, stay at home, no more outing. This situation that we are facing because of COVID-19 outbreaks. When education going online, students less to talk, only become a listener. Lecturer don't know whether she or he understand or not. In 2 years, student become loneliness in lesson, lack of social connections. To solve this matter, we need to create plan to improve communications and social skills between students and lecturers. Ministry of Education, college provider, and lecturers need to take part to solve this situation. Now we're going to the last page of presentation. We define that online learning is not suitable for practical needs, but it can also be applied directly into curriculum to further enhance digital skills for students. That's all for Northern's Group. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.